Well, all the talk this entire week, in fact, since the start of the year for the socialites and for sports aficionados alike, has been the J&B Met. It kicks off this weekend here in Cape Town, and it is going to be a brilliant competition this year, not just in the fashion, but out on the track. And I've got joining me three men who I know are very emotionally invested in this weekend as well. I'm joined by horse trainer Dean Kannemeyer. Dean, welcome. Decorated jockey Sean Cormack and horse whisperer Milan du Toit. Dean, I'm going to ask you to introduce this beautiful tiara-wearing beauty next to you. Who have we got in studio with us here, or in the basement?
Well, this is what's called First Swallow, and Milan is part of his team. And as you know, Milan's the horse whisperer. Any horses that are difficult and jockeys battle to take down to the start, he'll come along and guide the horses down to the start. He's a wonderful grey horse, and I think he's looking in magnificent shape. Well done, Milan.
As a trainer, you obviously have that very well-educated eye. I mean, your track record is unbelievable. The Queen's Plate, a recent success, but the list is actually quite awe-inspiring. What makes a champion horse? What do you look for in a horse when you want to create a champion?
Well, firstly, it all starts when you go to the farms and say yearlings, and then you go and have a look at them at the auctions, and you go with your bloodstock agent, and hopefully you've got the client that's got the money behind you to buy these horses. It's all about the pedigree and its confirmation, come from the right farms. Those are basically the things that you look at. When you put them to training, then we'll find out how big their heart is, but that's where it starts.
Now I'm going to ask you to hand the mic over to Sean. How important is that big heart? As a jockey who's got to be in there, in the race with the horse, how much is jockey and how much is horse?
I'd say 90% horse, you know.
Really?
And, you know, listen, as you said, mentioned heart, you know, it's very, very important that when you end up in a dogfight, that you've got a horse with a big heart. And, you know, when it comes to these big races, you know, these horses have got there because of all the attributes that they've got, and I'd say a lot of them have got a big heart. So they're all champions, and they're bumping each other in the Met. So, you know, on the day, I'll see the best horseman.
I was going to say, it doesn't get much bigger South African-wise than the Met. You've got a big weekend ahead. Tell us, who are you riding, and how have you been preparing for this? And then we'll get into some of your equipment here.
Yeah, listen, I'm riding a horse called Master My Fate, and he's a horse that's got there very quickly, you know. He started late in his career as an early 4-year-old, and he ran second his first start, and then he won 6 races in succession. And we sort of jumped him up in class, obviously very, very quickly too. But he's answered all the questions, and I think he's earned his place, and obviously in the Met, and I think at top of the betting boards. He's a really classy sort, and you know, it is a very big day, a lot of pressure, and you know, we'll just hope that it goes well.
Now, of course, if you want to keep an eye on Sean, you have to look out for this garb. Take us through what you wear. You know, the design, the weight. How does it factor in?
Yeah, listen, the weight helps when you obviously got to ride at lighter weights of the colours. These are Dean's personal colours, so they won't be the ones I'm wearing. I'm wearing royal blue and white.
Royal blue and white, remember that.
And
yeah.
But these are Dean's personal colours, so he just brought them on for the show.
I love it. I'm going to ask you to hand the mic over to Milan. Milan, tell us a little bit about being a horse whisperer. It obviously conjures up the imagination, but what exactly do you do for a layperson here?
Look, the whole idea, I think, firstly, is just to understand the horse for what it is as a fear and flight animal, and to be able to communicate to the horse in a language that they understand, and that is primarily their body language. Now, we all know that, you know, racing can be an environment where there's a lot of stressing factors for a horse, and screws sometimes come loose. So my then responsibility is to train the horse so that it behaves on course, and so that it does what it's expected of. Now, that is before the horse goes into the starting stalls. When the horse goes out of the starting stalls, then Sean is completely in charge, you know, on the way to the winning post. So on midday, just interestingly, I'm involved with one of Dean's excellent horses, Cape Town Noir, and my responsibility in the Met, for example, would be to get the horse to be loading smoothly into the starting stalls.
Now, Dean, if you don't mind handing the mic over there, for those of us watching the Met, how can we identify a champion horse? How should we be appreciating this? Obviously, you get to see so much happening on the back end and have a very educated eye, but for those of us going out there to watch and want to get involved, what should we be looking out for?
Well, what's important is, I think, when once the trainers have saddled their horses up, you've got to come to the parade ring and watch them parade. And look at the colour of their coat. Are they muscled up? Is he tightened up behind his last strip? Is he stripped, not overdone, not too light, not too thin? Those are important factors. And then look at his eye, jockey on his back. And then watching is very important, is how he goes down to the start. Is he throwing those front legs out? Is he pushing from behind? Ears pricked, he's going down with enthusiasm. That's very important. You can see he's really enjoying himself out there, and he wants to get out there and he wants to race.
Well, gentlemen, I know you're going to have a fantastic weekend. All the best of luck. I'm hoping that your glittering record is going to continue to grow in that sense. Sean, all the best of luck, sir. I once heard that being a jockey is one of the most stressful jobs in the world in terms of what happens to your heart and your adrenaline. So we'll be out there with you. But guys, thank you so much for bringing this beautiful creature through, and good luck this weekend. All the best.
Thanks, Graham.
All right, now back to a very hot kitchen to continue our exploration of our hero food today, the mango.